Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay at home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Home Dad Chat. Tonight, it's going to be me and Danny just hanging out and chatting. We haven't done this in a while where it's just the two of us. So it's going to be fun because, we have a lot to talk about. But at the same time, we're just going to kick it around. We did find a really funny video recently that was posted.
Definitely.
We're definitely going to show it and you're going to get to hear it. So if you haven't watched anything on YouTube that we've put out, you can check it out there, but you can also you'll be able to go see it at different places. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Danny, how's unpacking going for you, buddy? I know you've been up there for what, about a week now?
Yeah, 10 days, 10 or 11 days, something like
Okay.
that. Yeah, it seems like. Yeah, so yeah, we're doing really well unpacking. I think I'll be done by November 2023, I think.
I saw
Well,
you joking about that on Facebook.
Yeah, it's just like, and every time I turn around and packing the house, when we were leaving the other house, I kept coming up, like turn around, like, what, how do we not pack this closet? Like, how is this closet and not, or how did this, where did this, and there would just be like a tub of like kids' toys and some stuffed animals and a book, and I swear my kids were like hoarding stuff and hiding it under their beds or hiding it in different places. So I kept coming up with them. And now I know everything is out of that truck. That truck is gone. I know everything is out of the storage units. That storage unit is gone. But I keep finding boxes, and I'm like, where was this? Why? And it's supposed to be in like the in the basement, or it goes in the kitchen, or it goes in it's the master bathroom. How do we not know where this box? I mean, how do we did not know where that box was to this point? So
Your
yeah,
kids
but
all have a
it's
Mary
just,
Poppins bag.
I think they do. I think they do. It's just like a portable hole. They bring up and go, here, Dad, boop, I found a box. No.
So are you
But
purging as you go along then too with stuff? You're like, oh, well, how did that get here?
we purged pretty hard coming into it. So
Prior, yeah.
there's probably not very much left that we would want to get rid of. We did find I think 5 boxes total, 5 medium-sized boxes that we had in the move of stuffed animals, the stuffies, just everywhere. And yeah, I'm purging at least one of those because it's just the kids haven't seen them, in a while, and they're not going to remember it. I did have my oldest go through and like, okay, if one of these is like the animal, do not get rid of that. But if these are all like, I mean, there was like a giraffe that my oldest, who's 15, had when he was, I think, 8 or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I remember that. Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, is it special? He's like, no, get rid of that thing. I just remember it. I don't need it, So at least like a box, maybe 2, maybe 5 of stuffies. Because we all love stuffed animals. We just do,
sure.
and we just keep piling them up. And but other than that, I think we've kind of really, I mean, there's things that we left that we got rid of that I wish we hadn't at this point. So we're at that point. And we noticed today, a friend or a coworker of my wife sent us a garden gnome, and it's like a little solar powered, holds a little ball that glows at night or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And
That's
then we
cool.
realized that we left our ninja garden gnome at the old house. Because we have a little ninja and he hides underneath the stairs, and you really don't see him unless you look for him.
Oh, he's under the stairs?
Yeah, I mean, you can see him when you walk up, but he's hiding. Yeah, so because he's a ninja, of course he's hiding. And I'm like, I looked at Marnie and I'm like, oh. And
So
she said, what's wrong? I'm like, well, guess who we left it, or what we left at the old house? And she's like, oh, the garden ninja. I'm like, yep. So
well, now you got what is, because then you guys also leave another surprise as well, like
a little surprised, but it might not be for the next owner. It might be the next. It was actually a ceramic skull that we had in our Halloween decorations.
That's what I'm saying. Like between the ninja and the skull, like they'll be like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, it'd be great. It'll be fine.
Oh man, that's cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can understand stuffies and definitely the sentimental value of 1 or 2 type of deal. Like, I know I still have a Curious George stuffy from when I graduated high school, and someone gave it to me as like sort of a like, hey, like you're about to go adventure out. And so, you need cool stuff. And like he hung out in my car. Um,
Right.
like just usually in the back portion of the car or whatever. And now he's sitting over here actually on the side of the wall, hanging on to just hanging out with my soccer scarves.
Hmm. Best place.
Right. So yeah, he just keeps me company from time to time. So totally understand that. Definitely. But yeah. And then all your animals are doing good. I know you had one runaway on the trip.
Yeah, yeah. We misplaced a cat, unfortunately.
Well, I
Yeah,
heard the cat just actually gave you the like adios
yeah.
during the stop.
Slipped out of they had him in a harness on a leash. And I'm like, we're gonna leash a cat. Okay. I think we should just trank him. Just wait till he's not moving, and then shoot him with a trank gun. Let him wake up in Wisconsin. But
Yep.
but I mean, it's a 2-day trip. We had to stop and we had to let
Yeah.
him out, and we had a litter box for him, all that, and he got out and just slipped backwards out of the harness and gone. And my wife and her dad stayed at that rest stop for over an hour,
Oh my
just
gosh.
hoping they would find him, hoping he would walk up.
Got the
But
ninja gnome and the ninja cat.
right, yeah, and he was gone too. And I'm like, okay, well, everybody's sad, everybody will cry, everybody feels bad, everybody's going to ask me for another cat, and I'm just going to be honest, I'm allergic to cats, and
Oh, there
they,
you
they
go.
make me they make me pretty sick already. So
Oh geez.
whoops, I'm not going to push real hard to get another cat back. But we have the dog and the cat, and they're fine.
Yeah.
They're well, adjusting well. The dog's adjusting well to the neighbor dogs, and she's used to much more land that's all hers, and
Yeah.
she's having a little bit of an issue, in the backyard. Like, there are people too close, Dad. I'm like, you're right. You go scare them away. Keep
Yeah.
scaring them away till we have at least 7 acres again. Then I'm gonna be happy.
There you go.
No,
That's like
no.
we actually just picked up a puppy,
I
and
was gonna
so
ask you. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she's
Sophie, is that her name?
Sadie.
Sadie.
Sadie,
Okay.
yeah. So she's over here sleeping in the kennel right now. She's 8 weeks old, and she's doing really well actually.
Hmm.
First couple of nights were rough, but she's really settled in well to the family, and just now it's just a lot of house training stuff, which is not a big deal, but she's fun to cuddle with and super sweet. So kids are still trying to get used to her a little bit because she jumps up on them and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I love getting on the floor and playing with her. She reminds me a lot of the dog that we had for 14 years that passed away back in the end of
Hmm.
May. And so seeing different things like that, just that demeanor and everything else just kind of makes this whole transition really smooth. So yeah, we're excited. It's gonna be good. So yeah, so lots of change going on there for us, and school started up this past week, and
Hmm.
things seem to be going pretty good there. Not a lot of kids masked up, honestly. I did lunch duty on Monday. That's what I do every Monday is lunch duty, and I was the only guy. I was the only one in their mask. Like everybody else was unmasked, but I was like, whatever, I don't care. Um,
Yeah.
Nobody really kind of gave me two blinks about it, but it was no big deal. But yeah, it was just kind of a like, this is what I'm doing right now till my kids get
Hmm.
vaccinated, and then
Right.
go from there. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, hopefully everybody out there is staying safe and staying healthy and all those things. I know it's kind of a difficult deal, but uh, hopefully kids are doing well with transitioning to school. Your kids are at a brand new school, right?
Yep. 3 brand new schools, actually. Yeah.
Three
So
brand new schools.
we're
How
going.
was that with meeting all the new teachers and everything?
Well, every school is different, right? So we went
Right.
in with my, I keep wanting to say middle schooler, but it's junior high, 7th grade. So our junior high kid took him in, met his counselor. She was awesome. We went over all these classes that he wanted to get into, and realistically where he's at from his transcript, he needs to kind of be in the advanced classes for a lot of the stuff that they're offering in 7th grade. And so we got all that set up, and then she called me back an hour later and said, I'm really sorry, but all those classes are full.
Oh,
And he's
geez.
just going to have to go with the regular, all the classes. And I'm like, okay, cool. We'll have to supplement because he's going to get bored and he's going to have to do busy work, and he's going to get upset.
Yeah.
He doesn't do busy work well. He needs to have a challenge, a reason, and that was okay. So then we went back for the open house. But open house for this school evidently is just get your class schedule off of a pile of class schedules, walk around, find your locker, find where your classrooms are,
Mm.
but don't meet your teachers.
Oh,
Yeah,
That
most of the classrooms were closed. They were all, dark. There was like one or two teachers, and they were basically in there getting their room set up.
oh wow.
And I'm like, well, we don't meet the teachers, I guess. Okay, so that was interesting, a change,
Yeah, that is definitely a
And
change.
then my 15-year-old going into 10th grade is the first year for senior high here, which is fine. I mean, he was in high school last year, so he's ready, and just was cool. His counselor was amazing. We went in, and honestly, there were two. I call it the alphabet mafia, but the LGBTQA stickers and an ally sticker on the door of the counselor's
Nice.
office.
Nice.
And they have an automatic program. And bravo, Wisconsin, for this, because I thought this was going to be a fight. But Fabian just signed some paperwork and said, this is my legal name, but I want you to call me Fabian, and I want all of my emails and all of my teachers and the roll call even is Fabian. So all of his teachers will know him by his new name and won't even look at the other one. And the only time it'll come up is any, legal records or the email is
Yeah.
like the first and first three letters of the first name or whatever, and first last letters of the last name or whatever. But other
Yeah.
than that, won't even see it. I'm like, wow, Wisconsin, you are rocking it. And the counselor said, we just got this. We just did this meeting on this like 2 days before.
Oh wow.
So it was a brand new thing for her, and
Yeah.
I thought, well, that is awesome. So
So he's coming into this very much kind of in a nice way, I guess, like because none of the teachers know him,
yeah,
know him previously.
right.
And so that whole idea of them trying to or accidentally using the
Hmm.
wrong pronouns or names or anything
Right.
is probably less of a chance, I guess, with him
Hmm.
being in the situation. I know talking to like Al Watts, like that was a huge struggle for Miles, and
Yeah.
like his teachers basically for a while were really having a hard time with it, or a couple of them were even like, I'm gonna use this name, and like they had to like fight him on it. So
Right. Yeah.
um so hopefully Fabian realizes like he's kind of got a nice little
Hmm.
nice little good situation there in that. So that's great to hear
Yeah.
that there's that kind of support for you guys as well.
It was very surprising. They even have like 3 gender neutral bathrooms.
Nice.
And for a high school, I'm just like, wow, okay, you guys are blowing me away here.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with all that. So
Well, the city of Cincinnati today was talking city council meeting where basically any bathroom that's like just one toilet bathroom or whatever that I don't know how the voting came down on it, but to me it just seems like honestly like a common sense situation to just
mhm,
take down anything that was like designates one as a male and one as a female bathroom and just call it a restroom,
yeah.
and leave it at that. I know like my friends in town or just down the road from us at the coffee shop that just went in a year ago, their bathrooms they just say restroom on them, like that's it. And so they're for anybody, and I'm like, this should be simple, this should be really easy for anybody just to do that. Like no one, it
Right.
doesn't have to be like, oh man, I can't get in here because X, it's like nope. So hopefully that's something that continues to trend. Honestly, like I don't feel like there should be a whole lot of fight in that, and it makes absolutely no sense if people want to, because
Yeah.
a toilet is a toilet for crying out loud. Like especially
Yeah.
one that's got one in it and you lock the door, like
Bingo.
there you go. So yeah, well that's cool, man. That's really awesome. I'm very very happy to hear that things are moving along
Hmm.
smoothly with the kids and everything. So cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Well, so to kind of get away, I guess, from like some of the like serious talk of school and everything else, I love comedy, and I really love like goofy satire. And one of my favorite dads that's out there in social media is a guy that goes by the name the Dude Dad. You
Hmm.
seen him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor Kalmus. This guy, I kid you not, like just kind of came out of nowhere and has just blown up virtually with all the different stuff he's doing. He's been putting out a lot of material lately, especially a lot of merchandise. And his wife has gotten in on it as well with some of their like goofy antics. Like they've got one that's something like, whenever he's like in the mood, he'll look at her and go, "You wanna?"
Yeah.
And they have a shirt that says that, which is hilarious.
Nice.
But today I came across a video, and we're going to watch it because it's only like a couple minutes long and everybody else can listen to it as well. But this is a commercial for the new product that Dude Dad has come out with. And
I want to see this one.
It's a super sweet diaper bag that, yeah, this is just funny. So everybody just kind of, actually, I got to make sure this is going to do this right. I might screw it up. So give me just a second here because I got to share it a certain way.
That's fine. I'm judging all your tabs. I just want you to know.
That's okay. You can judge away. Ain't no biggie. My wife always get after me for all my tabs that are open. All right, so
let's go.
There it is. Okay, now.
Cheer up, Buttercup. Your diaper bag doesn't have to look like this. Because you're not a flowery little vase. You're a dude. Fact, male penguins spend 75 days in the dead of winter sitting on their baby eggs while their wife penguins are off at Penguin Target. Now that's the next level fatherhood.
Yeah.
That's why we developed the Dude Dad diaper bag. A bag designed by dads for dads.
That bag looks awesome.
This bag is for the dads that fix stuff. For the dads that flip pancakes across the room. For the dads that bring all the groceries in one trip.
This
bag
one trip groceries.
We've tested our bag in the most extreme conditions. We've literally thrown everything at it.
Nice little Office Space reference there with the hammer.
Unfazed. Our dad bag has everything a new dad needs. And
that's his new son too.
No longer a baby.
Oh,
it's still a sweet backpack.
All right, so tell everybody he just opened a beer bottle.
He totally just cracked it. Yeah, it was a joke, but it's really funny.
Double fact, women are 100% more attracted to a man holding a baby than a man wearing Axe.
Oh, Axe. It smelled like that forever.
Wait, think, man, you in? Oh, shoot, sorry.
Oh, yeah, he turns him into a dog.
Oh,
T-Rex.
Bacon. Are you cool with that? That's kind of cool, right? No? Sorry. There it is. Go to dudedad.com and pick up your dad bag today. Film him from the back. Look at his butt.
T-Rex.
Watch out, he's coming for you. Go, Scooter Man!
He's always got these really funny, like,
go,
after
Scooter Man!
credits.
Go!
Man, run.
He's gonna get you, go!
Go, Scooter Man, quickly.
I gotta stop it. Anyway, but yeah.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, he's always got like that extra like sub clip at the end too.
Little outtake almost. Yeah.
That diaper bag is awesome, man.
Yeah, definitely. And anybody that's only listening, seriously, you need to go look that up. I'm sure that'll be in the show notes or whatever. Because
I'll put a link in there for sure.
All that stuff. Yeah. By the way, anybody that asks, I don't do any of that stuff. I'm crap at it, but Brock's rocking it. So he's got you. He's got you covered.
Yeah.
I love that bag, man. And I love too, because again, like he said, no, he was making a joke of it. So, even when he's a baby, when your baby gets big and he pops the bottle of beer, the cap off of it and hands it to the dude that's now, his son that's now grown, but the backpack's still going.
Yeah.
It's still, there's nothing, there's nothing about it that's like babies. There's nothing that's like specifically, this is where I put my changing pad. Okay. There's a spot for it.
Yeah.
But later on, then, okay, that's my spot for, whatever else, my kids' college folders or something. Right. Yeah, that's sweet.
Well, and too, like, I mean, they're on kid number 3. And so, I mean, if you think about it, it's one of those deals where it's like, oh man, like, do I really need another diaper bag? Like, can I figure out some other way to do this? I know for me, like, that was how I was like, even with our first one, I'm like, I really don't want to do this diaper bag. Like, there's got to be something else. I ended up like converting a book bag into it just like that. And I'm like, but to have what he's got going on there is super neat, because who doesn't want a book bag that you can just take with you? I mean, when it comes to the zoo and you're out with your kids and they're at the point where they're out of strollers, especially, and you're just walking around, like, I usually come to the zoo with a book bag, because at least that way I can carry snacks and everything else. And it works. So sometimes I slap book bags on my kids' backs and make them carry stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's always for me. From the time that if you're able to walk, I got a tiny little backpack and it had a diaper and like a little tiny fake pack of wipes, if maybe actual wipes, phone them, them get great. They weren't doing their own diapers yet at
Right.
all. But yeah, you got to carry your own load, kid. This is part of life. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I just wanted to put that out. I just wanted to share that tonight when I came across it because I was like, dude, this is hilarious. And I love I love Taylor and all the stuff that he does with his videos and things. I actually got to meet him at Dad too a couple of years ago and
Cool.
just connected with him. So yeah, so just want to share that out there. And I'll have, like I said, I'll have stuff in the show notes for that. So
Yeah, you can watch the video. It's funny.
yeah,
it's definitely funny.
and then maybe at some point we'll actually get him to HomeDadCon as well. So that's the other big thing. So, which
Cool.
I was out doing some HomeDadCon things today. Can't talk a whole lot about it. We're gonna keep it kind of secretive.
Yeah.
But hey, you
I
gotta have
want
them
to talk
surprises.
about it.
I know you want to talk about it. I sent so Danny being the fact that he's my my second in command here. He gets to see things and hear things that others don't. But he's a good Fort Knox, and so that's the other nice part.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't tell, but I want to tell. I want to talk, but I won't.
I will just say this: you're gonna get, if you come to HomeDadCon, you're gonna get a sweet selfie that is not something that anybody else is going to be able to
Right.
get.
Yeah.
that's really what it comes down to.
He's hooked up, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, every year HomeDadCon's got different stuff too. So this is just one more adage to that. Like, because we were in Minneapolis, we had those sweet posters that had Paul Bunyan on them.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really neat. But
that was very cool.
But no knocks to Chris and the guys up there in Minnesota. But I had to kind of one up them on this one.
Well, that's, I think, a big part of it being a dad convention too, because you do kind of look at it. Wait, what did you do? Okay, hey, we're gonna need 2 of those.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, whatever it was just wait. You had tacos? Okay, we want tacos and pizza. No, not pizza. Tacos and hot dogs. We're gonna do the hot dogs. Yeah, or whatever. It's just upping it every year. I love it. Beer and brats this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a German town, so that makes total sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's been coming along pretty well. It's crazy that this convention's only a few days, or only a few weeks off. Honestly,
yeah. I mean, we're counting weeks. It's
we're
like right
44.
there.
Well, so 44 days as we currently record it, and then a week from that, it'll put it like at just about
37.
Yeah, just over a month. So
doing math on you.
I know, it's crazy.
Well, the thing is too, is it's right there. I mean, it's something we've been waiting for. Well, I mean, a year, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, since the last convention, it kind of ended that, and I'm like, oh, so when's the next one? When are we going? So yeah, and I've been jazzed since day one. I'm ready to go. But the reality of it is, you're looking at, I'm putting my kids in school. They're all starting up and getting going. And I had this date of September 2nd in my head for the last probably month and a half, 2 months of that's the day, that it's coming. That's like 2 days from now. That's right here. And then September, and then October, and then we're only, second week of October, and boom, we're good. It's really right around the corner. I'm hoping everybody's in and, got their tickets and rooms and all of a sudden ready to go.
Right. So. And to the other thing I want to reinforce, and actually this kind of falls in with another thing I wanted to talk about tonight. So one, like if you're in a place where like you just like you can't come, like because it's one of those things where it's like I bought a ticket and I've got kids that I'm concerned about, or like numbers are just too much out of the comfort zone for me, or whatever it is, like don't feel like it's going to be some bad thing for you to say, hey, I just can't do this. Like, it just doesn't work. And like, let us know within the organization, and we'll get you situated with your refund and everything. Because, we don't want people to feel, what's the word? Like pressured to come just because there are going to be guys who are cool with it, and there are guys that are not going to be cool with it. And if you're feeling like this is not going to work for me, like, then let us know. Like, we want to support you, and that's the whole point of being what we're here for. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there as just sort of like a PSA for any guy that's kind of like it sounds awesome. I don't really want to miss it. And just the whole idea of like FOMO, like fear of missing out.
Mhm.
It's okay. Like it really is okay. Like your
Yeah,
family comes first in
there you
this
go.
whole thing. So there'll be another Home Dad Con. It's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
you will still miss out on some cool stuff, but it's fine. There's
true,
another one. There
true.
is another one. And the thing is too, is like you said, this is what this organization is about.
Yep.
Support. The community and the support of its members and the ability to say, hey, I don't feel comfortable doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No judgment. It's absolutely, I would say, well, maybe donate your ticket because it is, a nonprofit organization, because I'm that guy. I'll say that, but yeah, but we're definitely not, and no one in the organization I've ever met has been like, oh, well, come on, you paid for this, you're not gonna do this. No, I don't feel good about it. I'm not comfortable with it. And everybody's just like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You do what's right for you. Your family is the most important thing, and you're the most important thing for us. So your family is the most important thing
Right.
important for us as well.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, and we've had people that have asked too, like, is this going to get canceled, or, is this not going to happen? I'm like, unless the state of Kentucky shuts down, like this thing's happening, just
yeah,
because one, like we're under contract and need to get this thing filled out so that we can move on to 2022.
yep,
But at the same time too, like, I mean, there have been many things put in place, including like the vaccine policy that we put in place, and to make it as safe as possible. And if it works
mhm,
for you, great. And if it doesn't, we completely understand. So, and with that too, so if you look on the National At Home Dads national page, and in the closed group, you'll notice that there was a new post that went out on Tuesday, um, which would be today when we're recording, but a week ago, and it'll come out. It'll basically, when this comes out, 2 days later will be the event. Is the webinar for September is myself talking to Matt Strain about all the behind the scenes stuff of Home Dad Con, as far as to like how we pick location, how we go about, selecting different things, what it looks like to track down speakers and things like that. And so I'm going to be given all kinds of that information out, because I get people asking questions about that all the time, and I get it. They want transparency. They want to know what's going on,
bingo.
and I'm totally fine with, and the organization as a whole, the board, everybody's really fine with sharing all of that information, because it needs to be known. It's not anything that's secret. It's just that we've never actually taken the time to really like fully share it out. And now that we've got this amazing webinar series that's been going on for over a year that Matt's been spearheading, he came to me and was like, hey, he's like, would you want to do this? And I was like, sure, this sounds great. Let's do it.
It does. It really does. And I think, I've seen a little bit. I definitely don't know everything. I definitely don't know what's all behind the curtain, but I've seen a little bit, just because of your stress levels, and
Yeah.
and the behind the scenes stuff that you and I talk about,
Right.
and I give you kudos all the time for all the work that you've done in the board, and just this year's, just everybody's done great stuff this
Yeah.
year. I think everybody's really on their A game, but having the information out there, like you said, for transparency is really cool.
Yeah.
And because we don't know what you're going through. We don't know why. We don't, we may look at it and go, why don't you do this instead? And well, there's a reason we don't do that. There's, it's not like we just decided, flipped a coin, or I don't want to, but it's, or why is it in Cincinnati? I mean, I'm nowhere near Cincinnati. Okay.
Yep.
There's a reason for that. And it's a good reason too.
Mm-hmm.
And a reason why it moves every year. Also good reasons. I love it that you're gonna put all that out there and get it out to everybody. So
yep, that is definitely going to be touched, because that's one of the biggest things that we hear, especially after the convention ends and everything else. It's like, where's the next one going to be? And then everybody starts throwing out all these different cities. And so I will definitely be addressing how that all takes place and everything with that.
So so where's the next one going to be, though, since we're just talking about it?
Timbuktu.
Dang, man. Thought we were friends.
Oh, we are, Danny. We are.
Hey, we ain't that kind of friends, though.
we joked that because in the dad lounge last night, the guys were trying to get it out of us too, because you had myself and Charlie and Quetzal and JHG were all in there, and everybody was after us like, come on, tell
Yeah.
us where 2022 is at. And we were joking that maybe if you put enough bourbon in JHG some point during HomeDadCon, you might get it out of him. I don't know. Though. But we definitely, you'll know soon enough. That's the nice part.
Yeah,
I will
I'm
I
good.
will say
I'm
that.
good with it. I'm just pulling
Yeah,
your
no,
leg, of
you're fine.
course.
You're
I'm
fine.
fine.
But
Wherever
yeah,
it is, I'll be going. It doesn't matter. So
right. And I think that that's the one thing most people, they just want to know, and they're excited to get a go
mhm,
to it kind of deal. So yeah, it's exciting that we already do know. That's
mhm,
something that we've worked really hard on, and I'll touch on that on as well on Wednesday. The other thing that's always interesting too is, and this is the one that I'll touch on this continually because I think it just needs to be said and ingrained to people, is the fact that we're a volunteer organization. um, everybody's volunteer, so it's what you put into it. And when we put out the, hey, like, would you be interested in being a member on the committee for planning this or whatever. It's always interesting. We get guys who jump in and they're a part of it for a while. And then for whatever reason, they don't feel like they're either being utilized or, we're just trying to figure out a way to utilize a person. And sometimes it's just nice to just be in there. But what I've noticed the past couple of years is that, and in this last year, it kind of made it kind of made total sense. Like, it was just the board setting up the virtual convention, and we worked with a couple other people, but it wasn't anything big. This year we had a few other guys who jumped into the committee, and by the end of it now, it's come down to like basically the board and like maybe two or three other guys who are part of it that aren't on the board, which is slightly frustrating. And I'm just gonna put it out there, man. Like I said, I'm being transparent about this. It is super frustrating when you say that you're gonna be a part of a planning committee for something like a convention, and then you balk just because, either one, you don't feel like you have any ideas, or two, you don't feel like you're being utilized. And it's one of those things where it's like, that's where you got to speak up and you got to talk to the people and be like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, this is what's going on. So
mhm,
there could be a conversation that can be had to figure out, how do we utilize you? How do we take the skills that you have and put them into play, type of deal? So that's something I'll definitely be talking about again. But it's something that I feel that this organization struggles with the most, is people who volunteer and then back out. And it's very hard because when they back out, it's left to the board of directors to jump in and take it on, and we've already got enough stuff on our plate,
right.
and so
Yeah.
it's hard to have to pick up slack in that kind of situation. And so yeah, I'd say, if anything, that's my big soapbox, and I'll step down now.
Well, I will say for me personally, I've had a lot more time because my kids are now older.
Right.
My youngest is now 7, and having that, the option of just going, okay, clap, clap, everybody get dressed, everybody get ready to go. And while there is still a lot of fumbling and there's a lot of, where are my shoes or whatever it is, it's way easier than having children that you literally have to dress, or you literally are picking up to
Yep.
carry around with you.
Yeah.
It has its own things, absolutely. And I think for me, it's gotten a lot easier to the point, where I want to help out. I want to, help do the
Hmm.
podcast. I want to do whatever else. But the reality of it is I have more time,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
being able to commit to something that's, that's as big as this job can be, really. Yeah, it takes some, well, commitment is the best word. You got to
Yep.
discipline yourself and just do it. You said you're going to do it, so do it, you know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, sometimes it could just be something really small. Like, guess, we just need you to do this one thing, or, if you can just be on top of this, and it's an email type thing where you're just emailing something back and forth, like, we can task you with one thing, like, hey, you're in charge of this, or you can work on, that kind of deal. And especially if you're a dad with young kids, one task is probably enough. And that's the thing, when you're in a committee and you've got multiple people, you really only need one task, type of
Mhm.
deal. So if you're passionate about one thing, then you got to do is say, this is what I like to do.
Yeah, voice
Okay,
it.
great. How do I help you facilitate that? And that's basically what I've done. Like Nick Savaki is like come in and just killing it when it comes to lining up speakers. I mean, he killed it last year for DadCon at home
Yeah.
virtually, and he's doing the same thing again this year with just lining up and staying in contact with all these speakers. And he's got young kids, but he's got the skill set for it because that's something that he did in his previous time before being a stay-at-home dad. So yeah, just stuff like that is super helpful. So I'm hoping more guys jump into it. Honestly, my hope is that this webinar will bring light to that for a lot of guys to realize
Mhm.
like there are a lot of working parts, and we need as many guys as we can get on the cogs turning it to
Right.
make it the best that it can be, because it's definitely picking up steam and it's getting a lot of attention in a lot of different ways, and there are a lot of media outlets that are right now looking at stay-at-home dads.
Hmm.
I mean, we had Shannon on last episode, and
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
all the stuff he's doing and all the stuff some of these other guys that are out there that are doing, like, they are stoking the fire, they are
Hmm.
stoking the flame for what's going on.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, man, I mean, it's exciting. It's really what it comes down to. Danny and I might not sound completely excited, but that's because we're tired, and especially Danny. He's
I'm old too, so it's
oh,
it's the mileage, man. It's the mileage.
sure, I get it.
But I
I
am really excited. I don't want to just sit here and babble how excited I am about HomeDadCon, about everything that's going on with the network, about all the stuff that's going on for at-home dads, how the number of at-home dads has really jumped because of
yeah,
COVID. And because of that, the number that we're running into, like the new members that we're getting, is really jumped up.
yep,
All the stuff, it's just growth, 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 growth. And I love it.
yep.
I really do.
I,
But
that's
I don't want to just go on and on about that. I
no,
babble
no,
about
you're
that all
fine.
night long.
I will say
So
on the form of membership, this is something that hasn't been really discussed a whole lot, and we've been trying to roll this thing out, and it's been crazy trying to do it. But so it used to be in years past, and I don't know if you knew this or not, Danny, but so it used to be in years past, of course, like when you go to HomeDadCon, part of your ticket was your membership, right? So that actually is changing, because you don't have to be uh, see, how does it work? I'm trying to think the best way to word this. Like, you can be a member without going to HomeDadCon. So you can support the organization without going to HomeDadCon now. We actually have set up on the website a PayPal account where you can pay the yearly membership fee, and that gets you we're working on what it's going to get you access wise to, but the big part of it is it's sort of like NPR. So if you think about it, like, you listen to NPR is like, hey, we're kind of free in the fashion of like, you don't have to pay, but you get all this awesome content type of deal. And if it's in any way like impacting your life and you feel like you want to give back, like, here's the way to do that. And that's exactly what we've decided to do with membership for the organization. So there's a way to just pay for membership to be like, I just want to help. Like, here's $40, like, kind of deal. And so I'll put a link in the show notes where people can go to do that at. But basically, that's something that's new to the organization. It's something that we felt needed to happen because there are so many dads within the closed group and other folks who aren't even dads who really just like love the organization and just want to find some way to support it. And instead of like, oh, I'm just going to give to the Brian Dixon Scholarship Fund, which is great, this is just going into like our general fund to allow us to do the day-to-day operations, keep our website running, maybe bring in a speaker type of deal, or pay for subscriptions to like Zoom and Blue
mhm.
Jeans and all the different stuff that goes on with. So but yeah, so I just kind of wanted to put that out there because it's not something that's really been talked about a lot because we've been so busy with everything with HomeDadCon. It's been a hard thing to kind of squeeze in with everything
Right.
else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is an option out there, and I don't think a lot of people know that. So I kind of wanted to just put that in front of people.
Well, I want to just clarify one thing because you were talking about members and being members and membership, right?
Right.
That doesn't mean joining like the Facebook group.
No,
That's
no,
just absolutely, there's no charge for that. There's anything else.
nope.
You know, that's, you can be a part of the network, but you're not
Yep.
going to be a member, which has its own, you know, I know it's like voting for the board and things like that. It has its own perks or what have you that you don't get if you just, you know, join the group. But if you become a member, if you go to HomeDadCon, that's what we're talking about. Just so that everybody understands, come to the community, be a part of the Facebook page,
Yes.
join us on Instagram, join us on all the, you know, social media we're at. Yes, absolutely. But that's not what you are talking about, just so that
Mhm.
we can clarify.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
if you come into, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
great that you're clarifying that because, yeah, if you come into the group, and some people don't even know that we're a 501c3 when they find us, which is always hilarious. I find like, it's like, did you actually read the description of what our group is?
Yeah, yeah.
Or the rules for that matter? You know, Danny,
Right. The
you're an
rules will be
admin, you
nice.
know,
If you could
yeah,
all please read, you
read the
said
rules.
on the application, you said you read the rules, and then you
Yeah,
go and you break the
exactly.
rules. Guess
Oh
what?
gosh. Yeah. That's a
Danny's
whole
going to have
nother.
a conversation with you.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing for anybody who's had to deal with admin stuff. Danny and I are both admins in the in the closed group as well.
Yep,
But
yep.
no, so yeah, when you come into the group, you have the ability to meet all these dads and get a hold of all this content and everything else. Now, if it's like I said, if it's something that's beneficial to you, you know, and you're like, how can I give back? You know, volunteering is always helpful. Financial is always helpful too if you're able to pull it off. And with the membership, like Danny's saying, like that gets you the ability to vote for board members. It also gets you the ability, if you're a member, it actually gets you the ability to get notes from the monthly board meetings that we do. Like that's something
Mhm.
that's in the bylaws. Like if you're a member, you can request the notes for the board meetings. And you know, our secretaries always have done a really good job here in the past few years of making sure that there's good notes and that they're available for folks. I mean, there are going to be some things if we're talking about like personal stuff, or maybe there's like somebody that we're dealing with within the organization that we're not going to give out that information just because that's very personal. But so there might be some, like, I don't know what you call that, redacted or whatever it is, something that's not able to be
Mhm.
seen. But yeah, you can get access to all that stuff and really get an idea of what's going on. So yeah, I honestly, I highly recommend anybody who has felt that this organization has helped them along as being dads or connected them with other dads, and it is like that's what's made you being a stay-at-home dad that much better. Consider being a member, consider doing that. And if you're somebody who's outside of it, that's not a dad, and you've seen how this has impacted, you know, other dads or even maybe your own spouse or whatever it is, and you want to be just a supporter, like you can do that as well. It's not going to get you access into the closed group if you're not a dad, but it does help out a lot with the organization. And
Mhm.
that's the other thing, because we've had people who are like, so you're telling me that like that women can also be members? And it's like, well, they can be supporters. Like it's not, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't remember how it's written exactly, but yeah, it's like a supporter type of deal. And so, you know, we really, there's a lot of moms, a lot of females, a lot of just anybody from the LGBTQ community who see what we're doing is good. Um, and want to somehow jump in, and that's one of the best ways to do it. So
Mhm.
wasn't expecting to talk about that tonight, but hey, it's all good.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. We went down that rabbit trail. Oh man. But yeah, so anyway, like I said, I'll put that all in the show notes and everybody can see it. um
Mhm.
well, it's getting close to the end here
Yep,
for
yep.
tonight. And
I think we've talked about everything we could have
yeah,
talked about, you
I
know.
think so. And the dad lounge is getting ready to start. So 9:15 on Tuesdays. If you're looking for a place to come hang out with a bunch of dads and talk and just have a good time. Apparently they were up till 2 a.m. Pacific time last night.
Okay.
Holy
Okay.
cow.
Those people need children. Oh wait, I have children. How do they do that? That is not possible. Well,
I
you
don't
know,
know,
I
because
can
one of
just
the
see it.
guys was actually on the East Coast. I have
Oh
no
man.
idea how that worked out.
Oh, at 2 o'clock, I'm rotten, man. I'm worse than a toddler if I don't get that sleep.
Oh, I don't know. They were having a good time. There were quite a few of us in there last
Yeah.
night. So I think I walked in there like an hour after it opened up, and there were like 12 guys in there, and they were having a good old time. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But anyway, that's all we got for tonight.
Hmm.
Uh, and honestly, like if anybody's got questions or anything like that about the show, or if you've got a topic that you'd like us to discuss, maybe you even want to come on the show and just talk it out with us. Like that's always fun too. Shoot us a message, let us know, leave us a review, and share out the episodes. But
Hmm.
until till next week, hope you all have a good one, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.